For the session of the 23rd of April 2021, Darkpulse Inc's stock closed at $0.018, a 7.85 extension. 120.2 million shares crossed the tape, and at some point it was up by 20%. We have a position in Darkpulse. We can see that the price at some point exceeded its 50-day moving average. It actually crossed that average and actually reached $0.02. Currently has a market cap of $84.4 million, $4.690 billion. Billion shares are outstanding. So moving down, we can see what's going on here. The relative strength index is gradually rising. Price rate of change is flat. It seems the unbalanced volume indicator is also rising. The slope may be positive. We will see. MACD histogram is also above zero, and the 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is rising. MACD is definitely above the signal line, because obviously the stock is above its 10-day trend line. We can see that clearly here. It's currently now trading at a premium to those short-term trend lines, the 10-day and the 50-day trend line, and indeed the longer-term trend line. This is which is the 200-day trend line, but has just converged with its 50-day trend line. And we're just going to see there isn't any fresh news as such concerning Darkpulse. It's only the only piece of news was that that came out as at the 19th of April. So moving down, we can see that it says that Darkpulse appears to be consolidating within a longer term uptrend. Shares are presently above the 200-day moving average, which is rising along with the 10-day moving average. However, the average directional index is below 20, indicating that shares have exhibited sideways movement recently. Comparative relative strength analysis shows that it is lagging the S&P 500. So let's see if we can find out if this extension it had of late was the only one, whether the extension has been coming. Sorry, we're having this memory issue. Very sorry about that. So yes, this extension is, yes, it's not just that, it has been occurring for. So I'm wondering why it is saying it's consolidating. Well, obviously that is not just the analysis of one session. It is over the last 10 trading sessions and even beyond. Momentum for Darkpulse is strongly bullish. Yes, the 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is rising as investors pay high prices for shares. The unbalanced volume indicator shows that longer term selling pressure has given way to near term accumulation by traders. So the historical volatility for 10 days is 607.95%. So we can evidently see that that pulse has continued to extend. So we were able to carry out some analysis to see how risky that pulse has become since extending from this April 20 low of $0.12. So at that time it was trading below all of its short and intermediate trend lines. So since that time has now become more expensive than the short-term trend line. So going by that, we have been able to analyze, and we determined that since it's trading, it closed at $0.018. It is definitely trading within its one standard deviation as it concerns the 10-day trend line. So it's definitely not that risky when you compare that when you look at the 10-day trend line. If you agree with this measure of risk. So, but for the 20-day trend line, it is also trading within that same range as well. You can see that it lies within that range as well. And for the 50-day trend line, it is not closed yet. So for some reason, it's, even though it has extended by a good measure, over the last 3 trading sessions or more, it is still not that risky. It is safely trading within its short 10 and 20-day trend lines, that is its short-term trend lines, and it's not anywhere close to its intermediate trend line, which is the 50-day trend line. So that's some positive there. So I believe in as much as it has continued to extend, then those are positive signals. But the fact that it has not run away from its short-term trend lines, that is it still creates some confidence in certain market participants that in as much as it has extended, it has not run away, hasn't become too risky, has become too expensive. So yeah, it's definitely those are definitely safe positive signals, that Darkpulse is still, that's not that risky, still there for you to jump in. I mean, if those signals are enough for you to make those decisions. So that pulse has extended, but based on our analysis, it has not run away from all of its short and intermediate trend lines. Indeed, not even close to the intermediate trend lines, but for the short-term trend line, it's still trading within their 1 standard deviation ranges. So the risk is not that high at the moment, but it has definitely extended. So you just also need to be careful as well. It's currently trading at a premium to those short-term trend lines. So if you want to get involved, just know that this is what's going on, and you need to be careful as well. The fundamentals are right, I believe, concerning Darkpulse. So see what you're going to make out of it. So if you're new to this channel, subscribe, like, and share if you're already a subscriber. Thank you very much for watching this video.